If I have to, I'll just move it then. Are you sure, Sammy? I feel like at this point, he would rather stay in the beginning. Also, the art in these games are amazing, and I feel like this is like so much better than the first one. Not saying that the first one was bad, it's just that this is so good. And the first one was really good already, so this is like you know. No, that's not true, Sam. He'll be getting up for work. That's not no one. Tangle Tower. Mid-afternoon. Lake's Edge. Ooh, okay. This is so good! This art is so nice.
It's a bird bath.
Oh, I forgot there's voice acting.
Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune.
I mean, you didn't have to do it, Grimoire.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, left or right hand, correct. I have to turn down the music though. It's so loud. How do I...
You ready, Sally?
Okay, never mind.
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Oh yeah, Sally, she's in the first game. She looks very different though.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Oh, finally. There we go. Oh, thank God. Wait, I want to read it! Case file. Case file. Murder victim, Freya Fellow, 19. Died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, 58. Location, Flora's Tower. Flora was present as she was posing for a portrait. Freya Fellow was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. No weapon was found at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It is discovered to be blood. Alright. Tangle Tower, a small painting on a scrap of paper. A few notes have been written on the back. Nowadays, it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. It is surrounded by a circular lake. The water is in an unusual mix of colors. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. Tangle Tower is currently home to both the Fellow and the Pointer family. Is it the Pointer sisters? I'm so excited. Oh, is this Freya? This is the murder victim. Freya Fellow. How was Freya killed? Ah! Sorry, I'm very excited. This looks so good. I can't believe how much... Like, the first game's art was really good. And they somehow made it even much better. How they did it. Amazing.
For walking.
Okay, Sally, sorry.
So, who do you think did it?
Sally, you know full well we haven't met a single suspect yet. We haven't even been to the crime scene.
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out.
Mountains.
Nope. They're too steep and too smooth to be mountains.
Then what are they?
They're more like cliffs.
Whatever they are, they go all the way around the lake, like a barrier. It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought.
It's gonna be like, and then there were none, where it's only the people on the island that could have done it.
Do you think anybody's watching us from one of those windows?
Maybe. Let's wave just in case. It's a garden, I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
Oh! Sorry. I'm gonna make a lot of orgasmic moaning because of how awesome I feel. Gardens.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it
Are you
working?
scared?
No.
I'm Sally, everyone.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster
Playing a harp.
playing a harp. Hang on a second.
Ooh.
This isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not gonna solve this just yet.
It doesn't seem like this puzzle can be solved yet.
Let's come back later.
Bitch.
It must do something.
You'd
Something.
hope so, wouldn't you?
Her voice sounds very familiar. Maybe we can find out later in the credits. Harp statue. An old weathered statue of an amphibious creature holding a large harp. Symbols are engraved on each of the harp's 4 column segments.
It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, of course, a hawk bear lizard. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
I'm Sally. I'm very much Sally. Main entrance. Tangle Twir!
Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Oh,
There
yeah.
is. Oh, yeah.
Tangle tour.
Twir. Oh.
What?
Oh. There's an
Oh wait,
Ah,
can I
Tangle.
not
Twir.
can I not get the O? Okay, let's leave it there, I guess.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
No worries, Pixel. Jurlurk.
Is that an envelope?
It's been opened, but the letter's still in there. Let's read it.
Isn't that an invasion of someone's privacy?
No, definitely.
Opened letter. The letter has been ripped open, and there's a single paper inside. The combination is drawn on another sheet. Once you have it memorized, destroy it. I do not agree with your reasons. You will not find it down there. Whatever that means.
Which one do you think came first? The tree or the house?
The dinosaur.
The age-old question. Should we ring the doorbell?
Why would we not? It's a little melody. Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Oh, what's here?
Let's head to the crime scene first. It's at the top of the West Tower, I think.
Grand Hall. Ooh. Oh, they're separated. Because this one says F, this one says P. So this is probably the fellows, and then this is the pointers.
What is that?
I
Is that
think it's a family tree.
Yeah. Come on! Detective Grimoire, you're the fucking detective here. Lord Fellow, Lady Fellow, Selena Stonepop, Felicia Fellow, Damien Dusk. Is it? Okay, it's moving. That was weird. Lord Remington, Lady Remington. Poppy Pointer, Fiona Fellow. Lord Pointer, Lady Pointer, Percival Pointer. So Fiona Fellow is... No, oh, okay. So the Remingtons are the... What's it called? The mutuals in between the pointers. I feel like this is gonna be important later.
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there. And sand.
It's an aquarium?
Could be. Except there's nothing living in it anymore. A door.
Oh, what's behind it?
A room.
It's not locked.
Stairs.
A big letter F.
Of course. Who doesn't hang a giant banner of their initial in the lobby of their mansion?
Doesn't everyone?
This one has a big P.
That's probably important.
How very perceptive of you.
I know who has a big P. Oh, no worries, Mike. Enjoy your lunch. What's for lunch, Mike? Oh, God. Okay. The tower just got extremely complicated. Okay, so this is where the crime scene is. I love the little animation for them as well. Flora's tower. Ooh! Oh my God. Animation's so good. Hello.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
Wow, I love that the chalk is actually around.
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
Huh. Painted portrait. Freya was unable to finish the painting as she died sometime during the process. Flora appears to be wielding a knife. The red substance on the tip was discovered to be blood. Oh, you should be sure to check that when the tip has blood.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy. Maybe it's just because she never got to finish it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
True. You know what? Hold on. Oh, okay. I remember this. I like that this is how you solve things here, by using your Detective Grimoire's thought process. There's something very strange about how Freya was killed.
What the hell?
Hi, Dad. How's it going? Oh, thank you for the alert. Oh, no worries, no worries. Take your time. I think... Airbrush looking mad. Could be. Could be a giant knife. But what does the game want me to say? Because Freya was going to eat it because it's sad Freya, because Freya stole it because it was removed from the sea. I think this one. The paintbrush is completely covered in blood, but it was removed from the scene.
The paintbrush is completely covered in blood, but it was removed from the scene. Nope.
It's not that obvious. The game's already like, want a hint? Fuck you. Oh, I think this is what they want me to say, maybe.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Oh. Maybe.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with red paint because Freya put it there. That's not right.
Okay, so I was right. This one.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
What?
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
I don't know with Grimoire.
Freya was standing
I'm with
right
you,
up by the
Sally.
canvas when she was killed. There's blood on the knife. It's the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here? Case closed.
The case is not closed. And even if you were right, where does that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
Could be a murder suspect if you want to. Oh. An unfinished painting. I love the drama in this. This feels so much more dramatic than the first game. Oh my goodness.
Flora fellow?
I'd be scared. Whoa!
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing.
Okay, she's not.
What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Flora fellow?
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing. What
Okay.
do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now. Is there anything you'd like to tell us, Flora? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She's not going to answer us, is she?
Nope. But at least we can say we tried. Flora, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
Ah, yes.
She's acting pretty suspicious if you ask me.
She didn't do
I
it.
don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
This is very cool. I'm enjoying this so much.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Brush and palette. The palette has a variety of paints loaded onto it. The largest blob is a blob of black in the middle. The paintbrush is still covered in dried red paint. That's not black. That's green.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was... Looks like she was still...
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Oh wait, I already did that.
Is that
What is
an
this
egg?
Fabergé egg?
An egg with bird feet.
3 bird feet.
It's also covered in gemstones. What a completely ordinary object.
I
Oh!
think it's a container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
Swap the positions of the gems. Rotate the egg to see a clue on the back. Alright. Hi,
Oh, a
Captain
new
Panda.
indie game? Noisy.
How are you doing, Captain Panda? Thank you for the resub. I'm doing well, yes. Swap the positions, rotate the eggs. Ah. See. Ah, yes, I understand. short, and then this one. This one here. This one's here. Yeah, the voice acting in this game is really nice. Even the first game had very nice voice acting. This is here. This yellow. This one's green. This one. Wait, I think I moved that wrong. Did I not do that right? I did do that right. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Is this not it?
It's some kind of clue about where to put the gemstones.
If I tilt it like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense as well. Yes, that's correct. Wait.
I got it.
Oh wait, I just had to confirm.
I'm impressed.
Lol, I was waiting for something to happen. I just had to confirm that it was correct.
Did it unlock? What's in there?
How are you doing, by the way, Captain Pat? Hope you're doing well.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue. An empty egg is a clue, right?
Could be. Once unlocked, the egg can be opened. It's currently empty. Lining of the egg is a soft velvet-like material. The egg is supported by a stand made of brass. It rests on 3 strange feet with pointed claws.
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
Ooh.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
It plays cassette tapes instead of vinyl records. It's pointed towards the middle of the room. There's a noticeable crack running through it, all the way from the horn down to the tape deck.
What about the cassette tape?
Yeah, it sure is. Pink.
To Freya. The cassette tape has a crack down the middle. It has a handwritten message to Freya.
Do you think it still works?
The gramophone? Yeah, we could give it a go.
Probably not, though. Aww. Well, I hope this will calm you down. For a bit, at least. Captain. This feels very eerie. Oh, that's pretty.
It's piano music.
And then it just stops? Oh. I feel like there's gonna be something later.
Freya's painting supplies.
Freya's paint, small glass pots of red, yellow, blue, black, and white paint. Glass pots are all cracked down one side.
Freya's painting supplies.
Okay, it's the same. This game is intriguing. Yes, you should play the first one if this seems very intriguing. Though I
We're
will
at the top of the tower, right?
basically spoil this one.
I think so. Why?
Doesn't matter. It's nothing.
Okay, Grimoire. Stop being weird.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there. Half the room is a big open window.
I don't know if you can call it an open window. It's more like the sudden absence of wall.
Alright, Sally.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
Who else can we talk to? No one's here. Maybe we can go to the other rooms? Okay, we'll just explore them. Workshop. Hello.
Puffer fish?
Yes, it's also a lamp, for some reason. A little hand-painted statue.
How can you tell it's hand-painted?
Well, the paints are right there on the desk. Also, I mean, no offense, but you can just tell.
Painted model. A wooden carving of a man holding a sword. The model had been hand-painted, but the paint is not skillfully applied. Wow! Yellow, blue, black, and white paints were found nearby. You love Sally's house. I'm Sally, but yeah. I'm Sally.
Nice. A real treasure chest.
How do you know there's treasure in there?
Why else would it be locked? Plus, there's a treasure map hanging directly above it. What's the deal?
Not sure.
Oops.
We should check that treasure map too.
Use the treasure map to discover the combination of the chest padlock. So we need a dragon. Oh, so it's the X mark, where you can see a dragon, palm tree, and a mountain. Maybe it's this one. Is there any other one where we can have that combination? Oh, this one as well. Oh, actually, this one is more accurate. Because the dragon is closer than the mountain, and the tree is far away. Yes, there's no other one where the dragon's to the left. So it's this one. So it's H6 to the west.
There we go.
Perfect.
Cool! Love that.
What was in the box?
What's in the box?
More wooden models.
Ah!
These are a little different to the one on the desk.
Ooh. A model resembling a child with green hair, a model resembling a woman with gray hair, a model resembling a red and white bird, a model resembling a broad-shouldered man. The wooden models have been hand-painted, the paint is not skillfully applied. A pot of red paint and a brush is lying nearby, and the brush has some dried red paint on it. Okay.
It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale? Or mead, maybe?
Right now, it's just full of dust.
Oh.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just made
True.
of wood. I think it's the actual hull of a ship.
Oh, it is.
What is it?
He's an imp.
What does he do?
Well, if you tell too many lies, he appears at the end of your bed in the middle of the night.
Oh. It's a barometer, but it's broken.
I've never seen a barometer that wasn't broken.
It's kind of true.
It's a magic lamp. Can we summon the genie?
If we get really stuck, sure.
A hammock. It's kind of worn out.
I would politely describe it as lived in.
The entire room is made of wood.
Oh, it's not just... It's the actual hull. Sir? Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
Oh, you're Felix Fellow.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh, yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious?
No,
I'm
it's
an
not.
Explorer.
Oh.
Explorer.
That's not what I thought he would say.
Treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
Oh,
We're
yes, you are.
talking like curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that.
All
But
right.
I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, when did you retire?
You listen here. I may be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is,
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world.
Okay.
They are the greatest treasure of all.
One of them is dead, though. Yeah.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate.
Wait, so
I
Freya's
regret
not
that I
his
can't
daughter.
be of any help.
Fiona is.
But I wish you all the best
That's
in
why he
your
doesn't care so much.
investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent? Perhaps. Uncertain as life itself.
Abridged version, please.
Right. Fine.
I was gonna say, this is gonna
heard
take a
someone
long
heading
time.
down the stairs, just outside my room.
Ooh.
The footsteps were calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it. Shortly afterward, I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else
Very
made their
interesting.
excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
That was a very interesting statement. Okay, so these rooms I cannot go into. There's a lot of people here, though. That's what I say. This is Freya's room. Okay.
It's a little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects. That painting is really something.
Why would you want it looming over your bed like that?
Why would you not?
Maybe Freya enjoyed the atmosphere it creates.
The atmosphere of chaos and oppression?
Oh,
Hang on.
that's what you see.
There's a smaller version down by the floor.
It's a photograph.
Ooh. Photo painting. Small photograph of Freya's abstract painting. A piece of adhesive tape is stuck to it. Lines have been drawn in black ink around the edges.
Freya's bear.
Looks pretty depressed.
He's had a rough couple of days.
It's a fish, I think?
I think it looks more like a whale.
Fine, it's a whale.
Could also be a shark.
It's Freya's bed. Little bit messy.
It's a perfectly healthy amount of messy.
Brushes, pencils.
They're clean, but they look pretty well used.
Library.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
It's been left open. Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Bird book. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. It has a particular feeding habit and usually only eats the seeds of Tantum amica. Amica? Pictured. So that thing.
What's in those bottles?
I'm not sure. Soil samples?
Books about ancient history, I think?
These books are ancient history. I think they'd crumble into dust if I tried to pick them up.
Good excuse.
Thanks. Books about geography.
Skip. Books about insects.
Well, theoretically. There's not a single book on that shelf.
Huh.
Books about space.
They're relatively untouched. Is that a snow globe?
Of sorts.
Oh, it's the tower.
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Cute.
Sure, why not build a science lab in the corner of the library?
The search for new knowledge, the archiving of old knowledge. It's downright poetic.
A chalkboard?
Is this a library or a classroom?
Oh, well. Hopefully I don't need to remember this.
Any idea what this means?
Not a clue.
I'm not sure I learned anything from that.
Curious. I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I'm still missing.
May I talk to you? Miss?
Character design
She
is
knows
really
we're here.
nice.
She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already
Is that
reached a
accurate?
sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis? About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies.
I think that's accurate. I
Unfortunately,
have been
protocol
here for
dictates
23
I must at
minutes.
least meet all the suspects. And that
Probably
includes
not, though.
you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator. You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste
Oh, you're
valuable
Fiona.
time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks
Call
for the
yourself Fifi.
tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Biologist.
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
Go
What
off,
made you
Fifi.
want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed
A microscope?
microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It
Damn.
automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does
Damn.
it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that
Grimoire.
would be most amusing. What can you tell me about the murder?
What can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective too, Fifi.
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
All right.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I
Oh.
ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face. She insisted that we go up to Flora's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
That's the
When I saw
professor, right?
Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
Oh.
Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
Very.
Fifi's bedroom
Interesting.
should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
Let's go. Fifi's room.
It's a magnifying glass. A big one.
How come you don't have one of those?
Why? Because I'm a detective? Should I start smoking a pipe too?
You couldn't pull off a pipe.
A new suspect! Don't think you can get out being questioned just because you're a bear.
I'm innocent, I promise.
Save it for the judge. Fifi's got something pinned up here.
What is all this?
It's the family, isn't it? But why is everyone pointing
Arrows
to one
connecting
another?
all the different suspects.
Yeah,
They're not labeled, though.
yeah,
They're completely meaningless.
yeah.
Did you notice who isn't on here?
Freya?
Freya
Mm-hmm. And Fifi
and
herself.
Fifi, yeah. Interesting.
That's a whole lot of books.
They have chandeliers in their room.
Crystal chandeliers. Extra fancy.
I don't know. They just seem old-fashioned to me. Plus, they're kind of dusty.
A pretty ornate window with a great view of the lake.
We're supposed to be looking for clues, not assessing the real estate value.
And over here, you'll see the owners use sheets of paper to block out all that unnecessary natural light. A simple trick, but it really transforms the space. It looks like a microscope. A big one.
Can I touch it?
Can I touch it?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure this is a microscope. Horizontally slide the forward magnifying glass to the correct positions. Oh, I have to form a key. Oh. Okay, wait. Wait, okay. This one makes it smaller. So maybe this one is first. This one's tiny, so probably here. This is correct. Oh, I get it. They're supposed to overlap. Question is which ones? I'm guessing this one is here. This one is supposed to be like this. There we go. This one first. I think that's it.
I got it.
Oh, this puzzle's
I'm
amazing.
impressed. Sounds like it unlocked.
Yeah, it's built on top of a little metal box. There's a book in here.
Secret diary. A well-used book resembling a diary. It's locked with strange metal device.
What's that big book on the desk?
Looks like something Fifi's been writing.
Is it a clue?
I hope not. It's just a bunch of notes about her microbiology experiments.
This game is so awesome.
I don't know what that drink is, but I bet it's 99% sugar.
I'd read you the ingredients, but there's nothing written on the can.
That's even worse. Boxes of stuff.
Scientific formulas, probably. I'll openly admit I have no idea what any of it means. Stuff Fifi's thrown away.
You gonna rummage through the trash can?
No, that is quite beneath me, thank you.
I give it 5 minutes before you're in there.
Right, let's go to the other side. Oh, this is the music room. Oh, that's Poppy.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
While it is the music room, he's gotta practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
A shiny statue of a strange creature holding a large horn. There's a noticeable crack running along the length of the statue's horn. Inside the horn, in the ground below, are various shards of cracked glass. I have an idea.
1 old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Someone must have did like a pitch or a noise that made all the glass crack. And then something glass probably broke in front of Freya that killed her. That's my
Who plays
first
the
theory.
violin, I wonder.
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted. Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely.
Oh,
Fifi,
Poppy.
Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer.
This is gonna be like a very much family mystery, isn't it?
3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way. So I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it.
That's the pitch
But
that I'm
instantly,
talking about.
It was like something drilling into a piece of metal. But different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Interesting. No worries for the look, Captain Bandit.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
This is such a curious case. Primrose pointer. Oh, this is their statement. That's why it's like this. Ah, I see. Like what their movement was according to their own statement. Stone Square.
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
Is there a message engraved on it?
I think there was at one point, but someone scratched it off.
It's Tangle Tower, or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
A pointless little stone tower.
I don't know. Might be a good hiding place.
Want to play hide and seek?
I could be persuaded. A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
AKA a greenhouse. A little bridge leading back to the gardens. It's a sea serpent, turned into stone by a wizard.
If you say so. What happened to its head?
Beheaded by the same wizard.
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
Ooh.
I'm guessing it doesn't tell the time.
So what does it do?
Rotate all the dials until 4 hands in the correct position. Oh, these are numbers. This is 3. This is probably 6. This is 12. So this must be... Nine. It's 9. Because this is clearly 6. It's 3, that's 12. This could be 9. Oh wait, I think I did it.
Nope.
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands like cogs on a machine.
Yeah. Okay, this is 3, this is 6, this is 12. So I think if this is 9, it should be there. This could be 9. Is this 6? Ah, this is 6. Okay. I almost had it. This is it.
No, that was it.
Nice work. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope, but I'm not actually sure what it is.
Small lens. A small brass tool with a curved glass lens. It has a screw at the base.
Whoa.
Hello.
Nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm
Okay.
Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
Oh,
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
oh.
Oh, nice.
Another
Hawkshaw's a
one.
cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become
Sally.
a sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
Damn. Hello there, Huni Archive. Welcome in. How are you doing?
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in the murder?
Very well.
Oh, thank you for the
Let
follow.
us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours.
Oh.
5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
Alright.
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers is one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust.
So
and an
Hawkshaw was
atmosphere
here
of
before the
somber
murder
melancholy.
happened.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite. Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting. From
This
several
voice
floors
sounds
above.
very familiar.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He
Okay.
emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met.
Very interesting.
He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred.
Oh, Fitz.
His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful, mournful, I cannot say.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Everything is very interesting. This game is awesome. I'm guessing Fitz is here. Oh no. Oh, never mind. There. I'm covering. There. He's right there. Not very creepy at all.
A little chart of, Actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Oh. Feel like that'll be important.
Kinda reminds me of a periodic table.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot. Tools, used by a gardener for gardening.
This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
Potted fruit. Potted fruit with a hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is in an unusual blue color.
That's a handsome beetle. Looks like he might have magic powers.
It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not.
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
Huh.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Oh, it is Sammy. Now that you pointed out.
Is that fruit?
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no.
It's glass, but I can't see through it. I am not.
Okay, let's talk to this
Sorry.
tall drink of water.
We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's
Hello.
a little too big to hide in the bushes.
Hmm?
Is anyone going to say anything?
Yeah,
Or shall
No
we
one's-
just stand around staring at each other?
I was going to
Right.
say.
Sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally.
The voice
And
as
the
well.
guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are
Right,
you?
Sammy?
Fitz fellow.
Hi,
The
Fitz.
gardener.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
Sally.
I don't know.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't
Sammy.
get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house. Yeah,
Right?
Club.
His voice is so...
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water
Sally's
grows to
so real,
plants,
she is.
animals eat
I'm
the
Sally.
plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Okay, he's getting less hot.
Could you
more
say that
he's-
again, but like
talks.
condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Oh, Grimoire.
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us,
Interesting.
it's normal.
Okay.
Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
Okay. Running a Firewatch? What about Firewatch? As in Henry? Doesn't sound like him. And I have already played Firewatch.
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
Yes, I have played Puzzle Agent and Puzzle Agent 2. Those were very fun as well.
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't
I'm
sound
telling you that
human.
sound.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that?
No fits.
Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks
Just
it
because
from
you're
the
hot.
inside. I
Can't,
knocked on
doesn't
the
mean you
door
have
and
to hide
shouted.
information.
Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went
You
in.
kicked the door
Freya
down.
was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Hey,
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
let's go later. Stop hiding there, Fitz. Making me blush. He's so hot. Okay. Aviar. Oh, look at the little birdies.
Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
Grimoire.
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
How do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
That's also true.
My little writing desk.
When I had long hair as
kinda
well, I
cute.
could feel it.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
What is that? Hi, Damien. How are you doing?
My little writing desk.
There's nothing written in the book.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage.
It is a giant bird cage. Look at
And
that bird.
especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Oh. Birds in the cage. Are we having a reenactment of La Cage aux Folles? 3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. Must be one of the birds who made that sound. Okay, let's talk to Penelope. You're doing alright! That's good to hear.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear!
I was gonna say,
What
it's your
shade
hair.
do you use? It's lovely. And that
Oh my god, this
shade,
voice acting's so good.
You're really pushing the envelope.
Everyone's acting so
Thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Yet, he has red hair.
You're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
If you say so.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel?
This is supposed to be like
Anywhere at all,
Moira
as long as it has
Rose.
species worth studying.
Except
Ornithology, they call
an
it.
ornithologist.
I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Alright.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear
Fiancé.
Fitz.
Oh!
He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Aw,
Fitz
Fitz is
Fellow.
taken.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families.
Why do you even
Fitz
live
and I
together?
find it much easier to stay out of it altogether. I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work
Shame.
in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the
Throws
company.
you off?
As do I. Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was,
That's
but she
That's
looked a little lost.
fun thing, right?
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was
Ooh.
coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly
This
wrong.
voice also sounds very
A
familiar.
moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
No!
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh.
Okay, so I think I'm just missing one person. Yeah. Just one more person. This is Penny's room.
It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope. They're wooden.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Poor birds. Okay, I don't know
Just
that
gonna
yet,
rest my brain.
so I'll have to look around first.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude. A little tea set. Looks recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed. A little bedtime reading?
Let's see. Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
A detective romance novel.
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
A brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. Looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. Also has an unusual blue color. It's probably from Fitz.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting
That
sentence.
doesn't help.
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
You know what? Let's go to the professor first, so that we have everyone's statements before faffing about.
It's too cloudy
Why is he
to see any
twerking?
stars right now.
It's
He's
also
twerking.
daytime.
Stop twerking!
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally? A
Wow.
picture frame.
With no picture.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
It's tidier than my desk.
So, even the most well-used, you know, I've always wanted one of those.
Forgot what these are called again.
A mechanical solar system?
Something with
What
an
would
O.
you do with it?
I would look at it.
Wait a minute. Earth in the
Puzzle.
middle. Sun on the
Oh,
outside.
yeah.
How old is this thing?
Rotate to five planets, the sun and the moon around. Ah, I see. That'll be something
I'll
later.
do this later.
There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to?
Grimoire.
Pretty.
Trinkets.
They're clearly gizmos. What is it?
It's, clearly some kind of large device.
You're not wrong.
Okay, let's talk to the twerking man.
Shh, listen. Do you hear them?
The people sing.
stars. They're whispering. So
Oh, his hair is a
quiet,
book.
and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed,
Just realized
my
that now,
dear.
Sally.
Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And, of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And? a professional astronomer?
Oh, no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh, dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Interesting.
I
Tell
was
me.
at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by
Wow,
and went upstairs
Grimoire.
to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Cool. This game is awesome.
That's all the statements.
Yep.
Let's go over them all.
No, later. Do that later.
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I want to try.
Ah, this was what I meant as well. You probably see
You
Flora.
can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. I can just about see the gramophone.
It's that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges. Hold on. I think we might have missed something.
Is that a window?
I think it is.
There's another room.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
Oh, that's even fucking weirder. This twerking man is extra weird now.
It's a metronome for keeping time.
It's
Oh, it's one of those
ticking.
puzzles.
Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking.
Oh, Grimoire.
Not sure what those symbols are, though.
Use the buttons to rotate all 4 metronome dials up to the hoop at the top. Oh. This is not
I did it. What do I win?
easy.
Not bad. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph. Heart of a photograph.
Ripped photo. The ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. Girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. This is Freya, I think. Looks like Freya.
A single red rose. How very traditional.
Yeah, weird.
A big glass door leads out into a garden. Somehow,
There's a little mechanism by the handle.
I think the other one would have moons. The one in Fitz's side. And I have to remember this.
I guess we'll come back later.
Yeah.
there's a name for this kind of piano. You know, these ones that stand upright.
An upright piano?
Sheet music, presumably for piano.
It's only a few notes. I'd barely even call that music.
Yeah, it's been framed though. Must be important for some reason.
Sheet music. Sheet music has been framed and is decorated with delicate old-fashioned illustrations. It's E, D sharp, D, E, C.
More handwritten sheet music.
Anything in the wardrobe?
Dresses mostly.
Narnia.
I never realized there were so many shades of black.
You'd be surprised, Sally.
It's an octopus.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8.
It's Squidward.
Don't say it.
Sextopus.
Ah, yes,
that was
a
funny.
giant symbol drawn in chalk on the floor. Always a good omen.
It's an eye. More handwritten sheet music.
That is the bed of a vampire.
I thought vampires slept in coffins.
This is a vampire who needs firm support for their lower back.
So it's an old vampire. Or just a vampire with bad back. Oh, there's something there. I don't want to go there yet, though. Fuck. Curious now. Oh, okay. No. That's fine. I'll do that after I explore. This is Fitz's room? Okay.
It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP."
PP. Big PP.
An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why does he sleep like this?
Why?
I don't know. That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside. Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock, sort of.
Rearrange the pieces of paper to find a combination for the padlock's lock. Right. Can I can't rotate it, so it must be according to something. Is there anything else with that symbol? Let's see. The sound it makes. What's this one? This is a cool puzzle. Very interesting puzzle design. What's this one? Ah, like this. Just this one.
Nothing.
Maybe if you move the paper around, you'll find a clue.
Wait, did I do it wrong? Yes, I did. Okay. Wait, that's correct. This one looks like this. Oh, it's this one. This one, probably this one.
Still locked.
I think the line's drawn on
Wait,
the...
never mind. It's this one. So this one must be this one.
That's done it.
There you go.
Neat. Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh. That's kind of ominous.
PP and FF. Ornate trowel. A metal gardening trowel with a decorative pattern. It has a decorative pattern engraved on it. Letters on either side of the heart.
It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
This is this.
It made a noise.
I guess that was right. And the door's still locked.
You have to open the other side.
I still feel like we made some sort of progress. There's someone outside the window.
It's not a person, Grimoire.
Something outside the window. It's probably just a rock.
You sure? Oh, wow.
What?
It's a big empty space.
That is so sad, though. Imagine sleeping in there.
A big glass door.
There's a little
Something happened.
That must be it.
Ta-da!
Finally, it's open.
Whatever's on the other side better be worth it.
Ooh, it's pretty out here.
Giant stone frog. Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes.
It's the feathers.
They're feathers.
Yeah. Probably of the birds. Feathers were mostly found resting in the tongue of the large stone frog.
That's one big dragonfly.
Or one very small dragon. It's another little statue, doing a really bad job of hiding in the bushes.
He's playing a lute this time.
He's also wearing
headphones.
Well, they're not part of the statue, and they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Very interesting. Good statue.
It's a rose bush, growing on a little patch of bluish soil. Apart from a couple of loose petals on one side, the whole thing looks very well cared for.
The roses are bright red, too.
Now, aren't roses normally that color?
Exactly.
A little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some
I
reason.
was thinking that. Oh, maybe the...
See those metal bars around the edges, too?
Oh, yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Careful, we're pretty high up.
Yeah, we're on a roof.
Oh, good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff. More egg statues.
I don't get it. Why eggs?
Well, either they have some special significance, or the sculptor was just really lazy.
What do you mean?
An egg has got to be the easiest shape to make.
It's not.
More egg statues.
I don't
Well,
get it.
an egg has got to be the easiest.
Let's look at that final room. Attic.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda.
I was gonna say, I'm kind of bored by the spooky attic.
What's in that little box?
What's in the box?
I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
A head! Gwyneth Paltrow!
You know, maybe I won't open it. It's a statue of a wolf, standing up straight, like a man.
You know, there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as
Wolfman.
dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
It's taxidermy werewolf.
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Fishing reel. A brass reel with a screw at the top. Coiled around the reel is a length of fine red rope.
Just dusty junk.
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious. Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this...
Kinda. What's in that little box?
You know, maybe I won't. Just dusty junk.
At least the
Dusty
moths are kept well
junk?
fed.
Someone hasn't had sex in months then. I must say, this is very awesome. I'm excited.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then I heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs.
I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me.
I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
There's something
That's
missing,
disappointing.
and I know what it is.
All the statements line up with each other.
Except for
They
one.
don't just line up.
Yep.
Some of them even seem to specifically confirm
Actually,
each other.
that's also true. There's one. There's one. Can I not do it now?
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all.
To see if anyone's been...
I know what's missing though, but fine. I guess we'll do that later. This game is so
What
fun.
is that?
I think it's a family tree.
Okay, let me look at this. So Percival married Primrose Remington, and they had Poppy. Okay. So Flora is a Remington who married Felix, and they had Fiona. Freya is Felicia and Damien's. Felix, Flint, Fitz. Oh, Fitz is... Okay. His parents are not here. Poppy, Percival. Penelope is by Pandora. Buck.
Flint? I guess he doesn't live here anymore.
Emily Everstone. I guess she doesn't live here anymore. Flora Remington.
We met her. She's one of the suspects.
Richard Remington.
The one and only.
Yeah. From the first game.
Primrose Remington. I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
Pandora Pointer. I guess she doesn't live here anymore.
It's a big glass tube filled with water.
There are weeds in there.
It's an aquarium.
Could be. Anymore.
That's probably connected to the thing. So I haven't solved that.
Are they?
Whatever they are. It's like a little parade of...
It's one of those big
Don't
pianos.
touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted.
All right,
Spooky.
spooky murder mansion.
What if I go back to...
Did you ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
I can ask her about all of these. Wow. Hi Chris, how's it going?
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
It's not a different route, it's the same one. So we can't ask her about that.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
Look at that gramophone, it's cracked! Okay, can't ask her about those. Okay, I think we have to ask specific people now, specific things.
I've been carving for a couple of years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to master it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Freya kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can imagine. Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
Of course. I own a great many. But my weapons are stored well away from Tangle Tower. Safety first and all that. You found it. What do you think, huh? I had to rush the final touches a little bit. It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her favorite people. Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd. That's one of Freya's paintings, is it not? It's impressive, but a little miserable for my tastes. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked down one side?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent condition.
You seem pretty sure about that.
Oh dear.
Do you know who this is?
Not a clue.
Interesting.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
Yes, the animation and the voices are really nice.
It would have been a beautiful painting.
It's a really great
rather
design
a
as well.
shame Freya was unable to finish it.
Considering it's about
strange
or solving a murder,
Well,
everything
these
feels very
modern paintings are slightly
cartoony.
strange, aren't they? The emotion of the piece taking over from, say, anatomical accuracy.
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
Well, as I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
So it's not a knife. Is that what they're saying?
What's this?
It's my case file. It's
A
how I
fun
know what I'm
murder.
supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits
Sammy?
of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it comforting.
I don't want to ask them everything. I will probably just come back.
A book. My book.
And what's in it?
Pages.
Tell me, Fifi!
Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time. The fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious stone.
It's not edible.
Oh.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity of your teeth.
Guess if you put it that way. Okay, working out. I see what you mean.
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
And some people
Oh,
are
yes.
into that, Sammy.
It has a telescopic lens. It can only be used for
musk.
looking at things that are far away.
Who is that in the photo?
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
Why is no one answering me that when it's clearly Freya?
Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness, but in this painting, she has accidentally made Flora look quite young.
That is
think
not
she
what I
was
meant,
just being
Sammy.
kind.
Why is that kind?
I meant
Anyway,
you worked
I'm far more
out.
interested in what Flora is holding. I performed the test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns
see,
no such
Chris.
knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark, and the substance itself was overly viscous.
You noticed that just from looking at it once?
Of course. Curious. It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
Oh, it looks like Penelope. That's what. Oh, is it because you're too hot? Is that what you're gonna say? gonna say it.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Hi, Flora. Oh, wait. Can I ask about this?
A little pot plant, balanced on the window ledge.
It's the only plant in the entire room.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
That is not a knife.
It's creepy. But
It's
we
not a
didn't
knife.
find a knife anywhere in the room.
not a
So what's
knife.
going on?
It's not a knife.
It's not a knife. We
See?
need a clue
Flora
to compare with
agrees.
the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
Could be this trowel.
That kind of makes sense.
No. I'm thinking a feather.
That
Yes,
kinda
it is a
makes sense,
feather.
but
No,
no.
it's not a feather? I thought it was a feather. That would make a lot of sense. I'm thinking broken glass as well, but I don't have broken glass here as an option.
That's not it.
Could be a flower.
That's not it.
Wait, what did you say?
That kind of makes sense.
That kind of
But
makes sense, but no. So maybe I haven't found it yet. I have to look. Oh! It's the feather of this bird.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Because this bird is red and white. A road trip in minutes. Oh, yeah. How's the album going?
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink
Yes.
dip bird is red and white
Yes.
too?
Yes. This one, the painted models.
This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora.
Because it's Flora's
and come to
favorite.
think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
Did the bird die? Chibuga got told off by the hot prod. Oh, there's a hot prod with tattoos. Oh, I'm glad you're having fun. You have that hot prod with tattoos number? So she kept. The ancient bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
The ink dip bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
Sorry, I should
She
be
kept
doing
the
like
bird
that.
as a pet.
Sorry.
And
I
it
should be
died?
showing the lower left or something.
Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
Because the bird's gone.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does.
Oh, that's so
Normally.
funny, Sammy.
This is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
That's what's it called? That's usually what you get when couples walk out. They get mistaken by twins. As twins, sorry. Not by twins. As twins.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mhm.
Because the feather is supposed to be there.
Completely empty.
Yeah, and it's not there anymore.
Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait. There's something tucked inside this one.
Flora's drawings. Flora's drawings of a small bird. There's a handwritten message for the back. These are for you, love Freya. Yes, that's what I mean, Sam. Yeah, I get though that you probably don't look alike at all and you have different races. But don't forget, you're in America.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason
Can
why
I
you
see as
wanted us
well?
to see them?
Only if you don't mind.
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them?
I think she's saying yes. God, this is so awesome! Okay. Where's the bird, though? Where's the bird? This is what we're trying to find out. Let's ask more questions. Oh, no pressure, Sam. I mean, you can always cover his face, let's just say that. Wow, not the threat.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to. Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
There's 4 feathers here.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and
Alright.
gem-stony.
Yeah.
Sometimes. You never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny and edible fruit?
You look at it.
Okay, he's very weird.
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
Why are you not answering, Fitz? Just because you're so hot?
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor.
So it must have been that bird.
Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back, too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized.
Can I ask for anything?
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
Yes,
You
that's
didn't see a
exactly
knife
what
anywhere
she
in
was doing
Flora's room,
first.
did you?
I did not.
Case closed.
I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of
All right,
thinking.
Hawkshaw.
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then.
I'm still not
Should we take another look?
Bell, lips, piano, bird.
Let's come back late.
Bell. Remember Bell.
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized. Yeah, it's mine.
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher. It's the first piece I ever learned.
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition. I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission, just showed up. For 2 whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would have been even better than me, if she'd stuck with it. But one day, she just stopped coming to lessons.
Why?
That's just it. There was no reason. That's when I realized things were different for her. I don't know what that is.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there.
Freya, when she was still
I
into
don't
music.
mean like... Please stop talking to me.
And then this tape that had music. That was Freya playing the piano.
Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors?
It
The
looks
shape of it?
exactly like you.
Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar. There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally...
Well,
Used to be?
funny you say that,
There
Chris.
are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather
After what
ordinary,
she
I'm
just
afraid.
said.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question. I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
Okay.
I've already forgotten all 3 of those names.
Oh my
Which
god,
one is
Grimoire.
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
How?
Glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? He's just my hat. He doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
That's funny.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one, well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
Whoa.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Then what happened?
Oh.
Tell us!
Lovely.
The music in this room.
Oh, Did Fitz show you that?
Not exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right. It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
This dude better stop twerking.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see? It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Julia.
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar.
He knows more about it than I do, Chris, so...
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears?
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
You know what? I'm just gonna ask everyone about everything and just see what they say.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade.
Enjoy your shower, Chris. Think of Sammy.
Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
Maybe the detective threw it, because she was the only one who passed by the bushes. Could be her or Fitz.
Here's a thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon?
No.
After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends.
Well, I think I should show the cracked tape to Poppy.
Is this important?
Possibly.
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license.
Okay.
This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. Freya was well acquainted with the abstract,
You're right,
I'll
Sammy.
say
Call
that
him
much.
out.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating
Wow,
interpretation.
thanks.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know, but Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Interesting.
That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage?
Okay, Sammy.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not
Is
sure.
that supposed to be an
I think
innuendo?
it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
Oh my god, no one is telling me about it, and I wonder why.
Oh my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother?
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall. Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Well, Sammy, just take it out on him then.
I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
Okay, I've asked everything. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting I can ask about other people.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end. He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune.
What?
That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. Ah yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you. I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Very interesting that you say that.
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the Fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time. Until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship.
Ooh.
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Oh.
Away. She went away.
Eerie. Okay, let's talk to everyone again a second time and ask them about everyone.
It's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest Pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest. Finally! I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Well, only last week I asked that miserable Hawkshaw woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though. Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue. I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling, don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Oh, that's rather sad. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Not you, Grimoire.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable. How terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Of course.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian.
Not
Had
the
her own
bohemian.
priorities. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind.
So she knows.
I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
I don't know what that is. Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is?
Oh.
The photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea. Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Alright, Penelope. Someone's bitter.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
Wow.
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because
Why does
that's
she
what
hate
she
Poppy
does.
so much?
She's a snake.
Oh.
Looks like one too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Oh.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't remember asking for your input.
Grimoire.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her, but she had a way of understanding unspoken things. She's a most unsavory little... She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility.
Interesting.
Did you not know that?
No. Thanks for letting me know.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable. She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Alright.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the Remington family originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the Fellow family?
The Fellows and the Pointers have both come to claim a certain degree of ownership.
And who named it Tangle Tower?
Flora chose the name.
What does it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean nothing
Yes.
at all. Something
What's
of
your
a
question?
fresh start.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement with her siblings. After they moved away, Flora changed the name of the house. I think perhaps she hoped it would make them feel unwelcome, is less likely to come back.
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it? Rather ugly, isn't it? As far
I
as
haven't listened to them that
statues
much, but I know of
Years
them.
of wind and
That's your
rain have
question.
not been kind to it either.
Do you know what it is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family history in some way, but I can't recall.
These swamp things.
I'm as confused as you are.
Sus.
It's unlike her to leave paint on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass, given the circumstances.
Ah, yes, so we shall.
Does Florin normally keep something in
damn.
here?
She must
Why
do,
specifically
but I
here?
admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I feel like if somebody keeps something locked away in a ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
Rules to live by.
Flora's quite fond of that old thing. It's in poor shape, though.
Do you know what happened to it?
Can't say I do. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
That's what I thought.
Why would someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny, aren't they?
Okay, Felix.
Now this is still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside of the horn?
Looks like somebody broke a glass and was trying to conceal the evidence. Cunning. Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is slightly tarnished by the elements. But it's not too bad. Might be salvageable. These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it?
No one knows what happened to that bird.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to. That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Oh dear.
Do you know who...
Best about that.
I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead? I've never seen that before. Looks valuable. Is that a clue? Really?
It might be.
Percival Pointer. Yes, good old... So, what do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying...
I see.
Keep an eye on him. Holds on to a
Exciting
lot of
for you.
bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Damn.
Over 35 years.
Look at you.
Childhood friends?
Going everywhere.
Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
He doesn't even deserve it.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the Order of the Crimson Cloak.
Is that a real thing?
No, I just meant because we both wear, you know, red capes of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say. I heard on the grapevine, supposedly Hawkshaw is searching for some rare item, something called the Golden Beetle. Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist rubbish.
You reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure called the Golden Beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger, always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile. You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell me.
Let's move on.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Oh, yeah?
That is?
It's what Freya called her.
Oh.
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
Different, like how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective, good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery. Never commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
Onion.
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's judgment entirely. She's a very vigilant young woman. Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
Nobody left her a thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
That's even weirder that she's the one who's dead.
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of 3. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Alright. Very interesting.
Freya drew these,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
What's wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues. I am scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh.
What is your opinion of Tangle Tower?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
I am the heir of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of Tangle Tower.
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make you do anything, Fifi. If you don't want the house, just tell them. Or
Yeah.
just sell it. Who cares?
You sound like her.
Freya?
Is she laughing?
I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something. There was no knife found at the crime scene,
Apart from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept of a knife.
Fifi, did you test the red paint
No,
in the
that
spot?
attitude.
Yes, I did. I discovered it too was blood, not paint.
Oh.
A whole pot full of blood?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still. Doesn't that freak you out?
No. In fact, it may be considered rather reassuring. The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are?
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
Ooh.
It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya? I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. The red paint on the brush is not paint. It is blood. Same for the palette.
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palette some other way?
I do not know the answer.
Interesting.
An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
You two are friends, right?
We are, yes.
But...
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become tired of my company.
Oh?
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her concerns simply lie elsewhere. That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is. What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds, I think.
My argument stands. That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs. There are a number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the grand hall.
Oh, that's because of
Yeah,
her?
what's the deal with all the eggs?
Some people just like eggs. Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be? The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
It must have been that sound.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Hi, Thunder.
Oh,
How's
yes,
it going?
of course. How
You enjoy this game? I'm
uncharacteristically
enjoying it so far as
forgetful of
well.
me.
Going well. How are you going?
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist. Likes, the meaningful archiving of information. Dislikes, the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time
I see.
ago.
I hope your
And what about
work
Freya?
day goes well.
How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent. Name, Hawkshaw. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard. Name, Penelope Pointer. Age, 27. Profession, ornithologist. Likes, birds. Dislikes, insects. Notes, Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her.
Oh, Fifi.
Name, Poppy Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes
Cryptobotanist.
electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So what's your problem with him?
Grimoire.
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
Sus.
Name, Felix Fellow. Age, 53. Profession, none. Likes, collecting objects of negligible monetary value and assigning them personal value. Dislikes, the inescapable realities of human existence. Notes, Felix is my father and legal guardian.
And, is he a good dad?
I have no point of comparison, but I would say no.
No.
Oh.
Why not?
You asked me a binary question. Do not get upset that I provided one of the 2 possible answers.
What makes him a bad father, Fifi?
He has trouble expressing his emotions, and something of a willful detachment from reality.
Huh. Just like you, then.
Grimoire.
No, he is quite correct.
Wait, I forgot.
Name,
what
Percival Pointer.
was about.
Age, 57. Profession, none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me. Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist. Deceased. Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this.
Aww.
She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you spend a lot of time with Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became 1. Increasingly independent, and 2. Increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age, and all highly gifted. 1 scientist, 1 artist, and 1 musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
And how long has Flora been... non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
I see.
There's something about Felix's painting supplies. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
Later.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something
Very much.
suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
That was very suspicious.